Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Umineko When We Cry Book Club podcast. It is so Jova right now.
It is so Jova.
I don't even know how to handle it. But I'm Lorenzo, followed by.
Oh shit, it's me. Well, hello everyone. So 3 months have elapsed since the last book club. Am I right? I guess you must have thought I had died to death, but no, I'm here, and instead of dying to death, I've been living the life. Hello, I'm Des the Great Equalizer, and I am also here with. Hello.
I guess it's me. Lurf here. I didn't think of something to say.
It's always really intimidating to go after Des because Des always thinks of the funniest things to say.
No, for real.
Thank you for not laughing after my joke then.
I was letting you have your moment.
Can't
You fucking made me do this bit. You told me to do this bit and then you don't laugh. That's evil.
I'm so sorry. Des was very funny. I want you to know that I was so stunned that Des thought about this whole elaborate opening after I told Des to say a great, what's his dying animation line. And then now he has done it, and now I fucked him up. I'm so sorry.
That's fine. I accept your apologies. So who are you actually? Who are you?
It's a mystery.
Wait, did Lurf already introduce
Yes.
himself?
Yes.
You've not
Oh
been
my
paying
God,
attention to the goddamn episode.
So the thing is that human brain is a very malleable thing. Anyway, so hello, this is Mushroom. If I was in a institute, I would be named the Mushubulous plant. That's it. That's my I don't know where I'm going with this bit. It is very awful. I
can really tell you just woke up.
Knowing.
I thought you were gonna do an recent College Institute reference.
Oh yeah, also Genshin Impact guys.
Genshin Impact.
But what I was gonna say is that I just woke up learning that time's real, so that's pretty upsetting to me.
Daylight saving strikes again. You don't know this, but this happens every year. Someone forgets about daylight savings.
Daylight savings is really fucked up for that.
And I reminded Mushroom yesterday that this was a thing and asked her, usually the US and Europe are separated by are a week apart whenever we change time. You know about that, do you? And then Mushroom was like, yeah, no problem. And then she fucking forgot about it.
No, I think wait, did I say yes or did I say
You said no time has changed yet.
So you knew of this.
I'm so glad that Des leaked the DMs so he can stand strong in the face of adversity.
I'm always 3 steps ahead, Robin. As I had to.
Oh my god.
It's very good. I'm so happy for
I
you.
mean, Yet was right. It hadn't changed at that time, but it did change the next day.
Okay, so I guess it's time for us to discuss what we've been doing in this time skip of 3 goddamn months.
Yeah.
Who wants to start?
Can I go first? Me. I want to
Do it.
start.
Okay.
Go for it, yeah.
Okay, so I got it.
The thing is
I have this. So I thought about keeping this onto the podcast instead of just mentioning it for the recording, but you know how there's this movie called 5 Freddy's at Night came out?
Yeah!
And I was like, okay, so the story is this. I did not know anything about 5 Freddy's at Night as a person much because I just through osmosis, I watched probably the first or the second game or blah blah, whatever. So then I also on the flip side, I'm doing a recent big project. I'm doing a big art project, and I'm also doing some work at home. And while I'm doing both of those things, I'm yes, since I just watched 5 Freddy's at Night, I need to know more about the lore.
Oh, no.
So I decided that I was okay, I'm gonna speed run lore.
Did you learn about fast
When I mean by speed run lore, I had decided to watch 3 separate videos, 4 videos. So I first started with this video called 5 Nights at Freddy lore in 10 minutes. So I watched all 10 minutes of it, and I was like, you know what? I need to go deeper. So then I decided to watch one that has an hour. And then the hour one tells a story, and I'm like, this is an interesting story. But like, what if more? So then I watched one that's like 2 hours long, and I was like, this is hilarious because this lore video, it tells a completely different story than the other lore video, and I was like, this is bigger content because this means I get to watch a third lore video and it probably tells a different story from either of these. And I was right. So I decided, you know that video that people keep making like fake screenshots or real screenshots about, like the 8 hour.
Did you watch the 9 hour one? Because I did too.
Yes. So while I was like, doing my whole thing yesterday and today, or not yesterday, yesterday and the day before, I watched all of that 9 hour Five Nights at Freddy lore video. And I think it's kind of horrifying to think, like, if you put a gun to me last week and you said, explain to me the Five Nights at Freddy story, so you can live, I would be like, I guess I'm gonna die. And like, now a week later, if you point a gun at me and say, tell me the story of Five Nights at Freddy, I think I'm still gonna die. But like, now I'm like fucking, now I'm 12 hours in lore-wise, and it's pretty good.
When's the FNAF secret tea party?
God damn, I left when you started the story, and I arrived when you concluded it. I guess I'll watch it when the episode's out.
It was very funny.
Sorry for dying to death.
Mushroom and I share hands because I've also been doing the exact same thing.
The five
nights at your mom's.
Yeah, five nights at my
Freddy's.
Actually, recently I've re-listened to our April Fool's episodes where we just pivot from
Five Nights at Freddy.
Yeah. And it's still very FNAF lore is just inherently funny.
Yeah, I learned about. So I remember because like I used to not even know who like William Afton is, and I remember one time I was on my fucking Twitter dash and like some Tumblr sexy man passed by and I was like, who are you and why did you breach containment? And then I looked and then I like Googled up who William Afton is, and then I remember asking like Sayome and being like, what the fuck is this? Who is this? Why is there human man in a fucking animatronics game? Like, what is this?
Yeah, I know his name. I don't know anything else about him. I'm planning to learn about him when I do go watch the goddamn.
Oh, you won't learn much from the movie.
Well, I was gonna say the 9 hour video, honestly, banger. Everybody.
It was a banger.
Okay, if you're a Umineko fan, you have like zero respect for your time anyway, and your brain is like absolutely so malleable that I could tell you that this butterfly is a croissant. So like, you know what? Go for it. I believe in you.
The video, the short introduction of Five Nights at Freddy's, the 9 hour one, it's by GB Good Idea Bad Idea. So for all you people who just love diving into really ridiculously long lore videos, go check it out. It was an absolute banger. I love when he got really, really angry about Dream Theory.
It's fine. No, oh my god. Speaking about game theory, he like absolutely relentlessly kind of shit on game theory
it's really
to the
funny.
point that he had to basically apologize in the comment section because I think there's a lot of like people who like game theory who watches it. Meanwhile, I'm like, get him, get the shit, like, beat the shit out of him, fucking beat the shit out of Matt.
I feel like MatPat's like really kind of like smarmy like persona that he puts on in his theory videos makes him really easy to dunk on. I mean, game theory is also how I've gotten like a good amount of FNAF content. I've also found a lot of FNAF theorists through him, so I've just been like absorbing lore from everyone. It's been an experience.
I mean, it's not my fault that this like game theory MatPat made the worst video of Persona 4 I've ever seen in my life. And it's like I think about that video and that video haunts me to this day. Like it's literally the reason why I stopped watching him because I'm like, you're just chasing that bag. I mean, by the bag of 5 Freddy's per night.
Listen. I may not be here for his movie and game theories anymore. However, fashion theory and food theory, banger content.
Really?
Man wore candy underwear for like a full 24 hours. It was really funny.
Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast.
This sounds like a Mr. Beast.
Oh wait, speaking about Mr. Beast, okay, I know this applies to nobody else, but also only Des. But so when Star Rail, whenever you go to Pompon and then Pompon like levels you up, my friends and I would go Pompon Mr. Beast.
Oh,
because
you I think you've already told me about this.
Before. Okay, thank God. Pompon, every time Pompon does it, I get so excited because it looks like Pompon Mr. Beast.
It does give you a lot of rewards. It's cool. Thank you, Pom Pom.
But it's Pompon Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
It's so important. Anyway, I'll attach a image for this, so then whoever is editing this gets to put a horrible image of me drawing Pompon Mr. Beast. You'll see it.
So what else have you been doing in your real life besides drawing Pom Pom Mr. Beast?
I got a job, so that's cool.
Let's go!
Oh, congrats.
Get that bread, gamer.
It's funny because I consider that so much less exciting than me watching a 9-hour Five Freddy's a night video.
But I mean, what job did you get? It's something related to art, right?
Web, like, you know, that's literally like I'm
like Spider-Man.
Literally, yes, I'm man-spidering all over it, and I'm shooting my web across the city I live in.
Yeah. No. Hot shot in New York. She's shooting rope. Got your fat fucking job load all over New York. All right.
Thank you. Thank you, Lord.
I gotta say, that's how my brother keeps saying he needs to do his laundry. He's like, oh, I gotta go put my fat fucking load in the washing machine right now. I'm like, why, you don't need to do that, but okay.
I just am thoroughly delighted that somehow
the brothers always get into the episode.
Somehow, like, your brothers are like functioning human adults into real life world, but also say the most unhinged things possible.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised too. It's crazy. But how's the job?
It's good. It's been just you know, I've been doing basically set to do a bunch of proposals, webs. I don't know. I'm just building websites. Like, that's literally my job. Like,
okay.
Oh, sweet, nice.
Like that's
sick.
Like, yeah, it's a time. Like, I don't like. There's nothing for me to dislike about it. Like, it's literally what I studied for.
Cool.
And it's like things that I enjoy. So like, at least I'm not like how do I say? Like, I feel like I feel kind of bad for people who like went through a lot of like schooling for like degrees that I don't really like and I am also not the type of person that walked out of my school with like a liberal arts degree, so you know I have something that's art-ish, but like, you know, I still had to learn like fucking JavaScript like a cuck, so you know, sorry, like that's just
True.
And you know, and I did actually take in surprising. It's really funny because I would like sit with like people who like I'm friends with, who like everybody else who like learn fucking C#, C+, like and like, you know, learn like like a bunch of different other like coding languages, and they would just like be talking, and I would be like, sorry, like literally the other coding like object-oriented, the coding language I did was like, you know, Java, and that's it. Like, and you know, I decided to be like, actually, just kidding, I'm way better artist than I am, and I fucking coder, and that's just how it is.
Are you still living with your roommates?
Yes, I've been living with my roommates for like, yeah.
Because I know you like your roommates. You were very lucky with the people you got.
Yeah, I've been rooming with my roommates since, like, I mean, they've roomed with me even when they got out of college. So,
that's great.
It's good time.
That's great.
Yeah. So you probably get to hear whatever kind of wild things happen in my background one day. Anyway, sorry. I'm just rambling. I will now attach my pom-pom Mr. Beast. I will put it in VC text so you can use your eyes to feast upon it, and then I don't have to sit in the big chair seat now. I'm gonna climb down my big chair.
Okay, then first of all, I just want to say I expected something more grotesque. This is kind of cute, actually. I climb onto the chair. Let me just. Okay, I'm on the top chair now.
You climbed on the chair.
So now that I'm on the chair.
Are you guys really tiny people? wow, that's amazing.
No,
Do you
that-
also get to like hide under tables whenever like anybody walks by? Do you guys like hide in the walls?
They gotta sit up on the chair so we can actually see them.
Honestly, from what I see from American culture and how big you people are over there, I guess I am small. I'm 5'5", that's small in your terms. In Europe terms, that's
Yeah,
normal.
oh no, don't step on me. Oh my
I'm
goodness.
a little guy. Don't step on me, little.
I'm 5'2", I'm scared. Technically 5'3".
I'm 5'4", which I. Oh no, just kidding. Why am I lying to people on the internet? I'm 5'3".
Neil and I forget who I am.
So we're the same height.
No,
Wait, I could have sworn I was the Golden Witch. I'm Mushroom? What?
Yeah, I think I am 5'3". I think I'm like basically average Asian women height, so like I should be fine. And with Lorenzo, how tall are you?
Yeah,
I think you weren't that much taller.
I'm taller than you.
Yes, I should.
That's all you're getting.
That's
I'm a
it.
little bit taller than you, I think. Oh, by the way, I just got my ticket to fly over to Mag again, so
Oh, nice.
I guess we'll figure it out.
I'll also be at MagFest this year.
All
so
right,
we'll
I guess
get to-
we'll confirm this. I think I'm 8 or 9.
Oh, shit, what a tower, god damn.
I'm not that tall. What the fuck? Wait, how tall are you?
Were you not paying attention either? God damn, 5'5".
No, I wasn't. I just remembered that you were getting up on your big old chair.
I'm still only halfway through.
Little
When me,
tiny baby.
I'm like, my stamina bar is almost over. Yeah. Okay, I made it.
Oh, it's not like Breath of the Wild logic.
Oh, you know what? He probably uses like centimeters or some shit.
Yeah,
Like,
do you use centimeters there?
Yes.
Like, that's so sad. I hate America. I wish we like. I don't think I can tell you there's how many inches in a foot, and if a foot makes a person. Yeah. Anyway.
Shh, it's my time on the
This
chair
is-
now. I'm like overextending my arm from the top of the chair to the bottom of the floor where you are. Shh. Okay, so you were talking about jobs. I also got a job. Yay me! But my story's...
oh, nice. Congrats.
Here's the funny part about my story. So
Yeah.
oh my god, no, wait. There's layers to the story. I'm only now remembering. Okay, so last episode...
I'm so scared.
I was still waiting for the goddamn certificate to actually start working, right? Then another clinic went up to me and was like, "Hey, we can get you working without certificate because you'll start as a trainee, and then once you get certification, you can actually start working." And like, I was kind of in need of the money for reasons that I will get into, so I had to take it. I couldn't wait any longer. I am now working at that place. I'm doing radiology. I'm taking X-rays, and I'll jump to the conclusion and then I'll go back and explain how we got there. So I actually don't remember if I had told you any of you about this yet, but drum roll. Oh, I am fucking turning British. I'm immigrating.
Are you
I'm going to England.
Are you going to Britland? Are you
Oh,
going to
seriously?
Britland?
Yes.
Are you literally
Damn.
going to
Oh my
Britland?
God.
I'm turning
Do you know
British.
that Britland? Okay, Britland is becoming Britland is great because becoming Britland means that you are one step closer to be able to buy a flight to like fucking I don't know, New York City for like $400 round trip.
Yep.
And that's pretty cool.
You know what else I'm closer to? Starring in the next Xenoblade 4. That's right. I'm gonna be a VA. Just wait for it. I'm gonna be like
and then you
Mewtwo.
can say you could do really bad voice acting. I sit around and I still get haunted by the fact that Rex sounds like that in the
No, shut up. Yeah, I will not allow this kind of Rex discourse in this podcast. Like, the voice actors did not have the scenes in front of them to guide their voices by. They were recording blind. They did not know what the fuck was going on. The fault is on the production team, not on the VAs.
Like my point is not that the VA is bad or anything. It's just that like whoever is the voice director, like they need to get fucking fired. Like what the fuck were they doing?
Yeah. No, anyway, where I want to get with this is it was a hard choice, obviously. I don't know if you realize, but like changing countries is kind of a big choice. I had a lot of time to ponder things, and eventually I decided to go. And I've actually went there to the city to visit the city to see how the city was, what kind of neighborhoods I'd want to live in, and to actually
In Britland?
Huh?
In Britland?
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and visit the hospital I'll be in and meet the people and all of that. And here's the funny part. My certificate, keep calling it a certificate because it's easier, but in reality it's a card that you have to keep with you. And so it did eventually arrive 3 months after I had, requested it. Except my official, the official place I live in is with my mother, and I'm currently living with my father because it's closer to the place I'm working at. Except to go to England, I was already gonna drive by my mother's place, so I picked it up and then took it with me to England. But then, how can I explain this? My bag has a lot of bags in it, like a lot of zippers, and
Oh no, you lost it? And you had to
no, the
request a new
fucking
one?
Frontier security guard lost my fucking documents for me, because the motherfucker wanted to take
fuck.
something out, and I'm pretty sure that's where my fucking object where you place all your cards in, I don't remember the name in English, that's where my goddamn fell. He made it fall.
The wallet.
Oh,
fuck.
that's so sad. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so I waited 3 months for the goddamn, only to not have it again, and now it's not worth requesting it anymore, because I'm fucking dipping. I'll be working in Britain starting January 1st, so it's just not worth it.
Congratulations on going to
nice.
Berlin.
Yeah.
Clap, clap,
Wait, I
clap.
should start practicing my accent. I should start speaking like this.
Oh my god.
Oh, you should stop doing that.
You should
I
stop
think you need
doing
to
that
stop.
right now. I want you to know that, like, this is my problem with playing any, like, fucking, Square Enix games, is that I can't stand British people. Like, okay.
That sounds like a you problem, milady.
Okay, so what was I saying is that, like, you know how people say, like, French people aren't real? I'm above that. Like, I don't even believe, like, British people are real. Like, I went to, like, London, and I stood there, and I looked around, and people talking, and I'm like, there's no way these people are real.
So
like,
what you're saying is I'm leaving a fictional country to go live in a country with fictional people.
Exactly. I was gonna say, it wasn't even gonna be that hard of a decision for you to move away, because, you're just moving from one fictional country to another fictional country.
Fucking hell, I can never exist.
I'm so sorry, Des, but I don't make the rules, man.
Yeah, so that's what's been up with my life. That's my funny time skip story.
Oh well, congrats.
Yeah.
That's huge.
You skip time.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming to this podcast. We will be closing it with. Speaking about 9/11, which has nothing to do with 9/11, shout out to everybody in this who listens to the podcast who's also an Azanabi fan. I am so Hassan Nabi pilled. That's it. I don't know why I'm saying that. Continue, Lorenzo. Go for it.
I mean, fair. He is quite good looking, you know.
It's like, do you watch Hassan for his politics? No, I watch him because he has gigantic guns, which I mean.
I just know that if he did not look like that, he would not have the following he has, you know?
Yeah, that's what he
So-
says. That's he's
Exactly.
like. He's the girl I just heard about, the wage gap. That's kind of
He's-
fucked up. Lip bite.
He's using his good looks for good. He's making a brand of himself, you know, like any, I don't know, attractive looking person would.
Yeah.
That's some queen card shit right there. You know, I say that like regularly, but I don't think anybody knows what I'm referring to. So I'm just like, oh my god, I just sound like an idiot saying queen card all the time. Do you guys even know what I'm
No.
saying?
What the fuck are you talking about? Please enlighten the public. Teach the
Just
children.
stupid ass. It's a K-pop thing. It's a name of a song. It sounds so stupid and awful, and I just say it all the time whenever something happens. I'm just like queen card. It's like saying women in STEM. You know. I just goodness. Speaking of which, Overwatch had another K-pop group as like their musical guest, and they made like a banger song. But also Overwatch released like the most distracting hero or whatever, like
Why-
recently?
why
If
did-
you guys have been keeping up with Overwatch news.
No,
I don't even play Overwatch.
I don't play Overwatch anymore because I want to be a better person in life. But the game that I am playing is I play Valorante.
Oh my god! Of course.
And-
You're awful.
Well, it's actually incredibly entertaining because I'm just not that good at the game, but I just play consistently with my friends. And Valorant, I keep calling it Valorante. It's an inside joke between my friends and I. And it's just the worst way to say Valo. But yeah.
I like that.
But yeah. So anyway, so what does it make the agent distracting?
Well, you can look him up. His name's Maga. Not Make America Great Again. It's
No.
Mauga. Mauga.
A Mogai. Speaking of a Mogai, did you hear about how Fall Guy is now in Final Fantasy 14 and everybody's like losing their mind?
Wait, really? Why? What the fuck?
Fall Guy has like a whole thing collab with like Final Fantasy 14. So like now you like
Why?
I just don't know. Overwatch. I feel like. Okay.
I'm trying to paste it into the text, but
Oh, doesn't he look like that guy from fucking
Moana?
That's what I'm thinking. Doesn't he looks like Moana. No, he doesn't look like Moana. He looks like the other guy from Moana.
The Rock.
He's one giant Polynesian character. He's
yeah.
from Moana.
Shut the fuck up. Yes, I am super racist. That's what
Me
you.
too, honestly. That's my favorite New Jeans song. Super racist. Super racist. Super racist. What have I honestly don't even remember what I've been doing. Oh, let me see. My dog, he broke his damn jaw and needed jaw surgery, so now he looks like those before and after jaw surgery pictures. You ever see those? Hold on. You know, like when people like don't have chins and then they get a chin. They did that to him. Or when people have like underbites and then they don't have an underbite anymore.
When you're a mouth breather.
See, this can be the thumbnail. Actually, you can find any jaw surgery. They're all pretty good. It's kind of crazy. Like if you guys like watch jaw surgery videos, like
Lorenzo,
orthopedics is insane.
Literally, we're gonna become a skull analyst at this point.
Yeah.
Like really out here doing the phrenologist of fucking.
If you ever watch these videos, you can look them up on YouTube. Like they straight up have like a chisel in people's like jaws. They like open it up and then they like get a huge ass like mallet and just go tick, tick, tick.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like they play Minecraft in their damn mouth.
Those motherfuckers be in the surgery room hammering people's bones. I've seen it firsthand because I was there. Like during my internship.
Ooh, that must sound
it's
awful.
like obviously they get the job well done, but like when you imagine a surgery, you imagine something very meticulous. But then when it's orthopedic shit, they're just fucking hammering like boom boom, and you see the person unconscious on the table just flopping up and down from the sheer like momentum of the hammer. Flop, flop, flop. It's kind of disturbing, not gonna lie.
That's very funny.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I want you to know that like when I lost my wisdom teeth and I like usually you get like totally knocked out or like I was just like awake and like conscious the whole time, and I remember and then they were just like fucking hammering to my mouth and I was just so confused. And then, like, I remember when I left, I was like, could I take my teeth? They were like, no. And I was like, that's my teeth.
What? They don't let you keep the
you
teeth?
took that out of my mouth. Give it to me.
You grew that yourself.
It's your property.
So yeah, in America, you're usually not allowed to take your teeth.
You're
with
allowed
you,
to go around with guns on your pockets and on your teeth. What are you gonna do with your teeth?
Like, what are we gonna do with them?
Yeah, what crime are you gonna commit with 4 wisdom teeth?
I think, we're gonna grow it in our teeth farm. Like, that's...
and then you end the implant market.
Infinite food glitch.
We're never gonna get to talk about Umineko because
No, we will. Lorenzo, talk about what you've been doing right now or else.
Okay, right now, my dog with his broken ass jaw. Like, it was so sad because basically my brother came home to visit, and my dog got really excited, and we have like these stairs that lead up to our front door. But I guess he misjudged and like rammed his damn head into like the stairs. There's like a big ass dent in the floor now, and he like bled all over the place. Yeah, his like teeth are just kind of like hanging out forward. It looks so painful, but he's fine now. They like took out the teeth and also part of his jaw. Now he looks like those pictures I sent you guys.
I have to say that's kind of jaw dropping.
I'm leaving. Bye. No. What else have I been doing with my life? Honestly, I don't really know. I just kind of like sit here and T-pose until the next recording. So
I'd be up to a lot of things. I'd be doing a lot of things in my life. I'm in the midst of midterms right now, and I'm behind on midterms. I have to do a 20-second hand-drawn animation with lip syncing, and I'm scared.
Bust out that Flipnote Studio, baby.
I have not. No, I can't even do that. I have to do pen and paper.
Ooh.
I gotta pull out the light box. Yeah, we do traditional animation.
20 seconds is a lot.
Yes, it is. It's my
What
midterm.
the hell? That's so much. They're asking a lot out of you for a midterm. That's not even a final.
No, that's not our final. Our final, I think, involves dancing, like doing like an animation to music. I also competed in the 24-hour animation contest this year with a group of 5 friends.
Oh, nice.
We made a film titled "The Things We Make." It was 30 seconds. I helped direct it, and I storyboarded like the last I'd say 10-ish seconds, and I animated the first 9 seconds. I gave myself the most work. It was.
Can we watch it?
Yeah, we can absolutely watch it. I can send it in after the podcast.
Oh, you don't want to get our reactions on the episode?
Dude, we can get reactions on the episode if you'd like.
I think it would be funny.
Yeah, I can pull it up right now.
Yeah.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
This is a variety show at this point, you know? We do whatever.
This is true. This is literally a variety show.
It's been 3 months. We owe ourselves this.
We do owe ourselves this.
We do.
All right, my little guys, Phil.
Go for it. Oh, that's cute. I like that. Nice work.
I really like the backgrounds. Backgrounds are great.
That's really complicated. That was a 24-hour animation challenge.
Yeah,
that's insane.
We were supposed to come up with the story, design the characters, do literally everything within 24 hours. We got the prompt at like 4 p.m. on, I believe it was like a Saturday.
So it's
Friday.
like a game jam, but for animation. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Damn. And I can't even wipe. Like, nice work.
Yeah, for 24 hours, goddamn.
Yeah, no, we got... At first we were very ahead because they were expecting us to have like our story together by like 11 p.m. and we were like, no, and we got it done by like, I think like 5, and then we just started like speed running to the end, and then I was pretty much like the last one doing work because I gave myself 9 seconds of animation like a fucking idiot. I was like, oh yeah, I can do the first opening shots, like no problem. Like you're doing the backgrounds and you're doing a long walk cycle and you're doing the stuff with the dragon, so like whatever, like I can animate people. And I was like, wait a minute, 9 seconds is a lot of animation because I also had to like clean it up from like the storyboards and do the keyframes, and I had to like color in and shit, and I was like, oh shit. So that's why mine's the least polished, but I think it works. I still had fun doing it. What else? I've been doing so much. I'm still on my Haruhi brain rot. There's a new book releasing soon. I'm here for it. I'm so excited. I hope Itsuki Koizumi gets a focus for once in his goddamn life. if we recall a while back, I was dangening some rampas.
Yes.
Oh hell yeah! Did you finish all of it?
I have finished all of Danganronpa, and I have since, against my past self's wishes to not be a Komaeda fan. Komaeda has consumed every single waking thought of my being, and I am so mad because I'm the only one who understands him, and I hate the fandom.
You don't get him like I do.
No, the Danganronpa fandom does not understand Nagito Komaeda like I do.
That's what they all say.
Dude, I've never seen a character so flanderized in my life. like they're either like you go on Tumblr or you go in on AO3, and Komaeda is either like little baby boy, little domestic, little hope guy, or he's like aggressively horny and like fetishized.
My thoughts about Komaeda is that everybody on the internet is wrong and bad and stupid. And
you get me.
I have so much beef against the whole like Danganronpa fandom. Like, come at me, bro. Like I will fight you.
I'm not like other Komaeda fans.
I've been yelling with Marcy about it for far too long. I also I don't know if I've said this on the podcast, but I do Tumblr RP. My Komaeda blog is fire. That's all I have to say.
I'm better than all of the other Komaeda blogs.
Listen. I'm not here to say that I know Komaeda better than all the other Komaeda blogs, but within like I've only been role playing him for about a week, and multiple people have like unprompted come into my inbox and been like, "You have like the best takes I've ever seen in the Danganronpa fandom." I've seen you talk about Komaeda, and I was like, "Oh, thank fucking God that you have good takes."
You're dominating the game. Good job, Worf.
No, I am.
Sure.
I am. I've written far too many lengthy rambles about him. I'm also a comedic genius. I think I'm funny.
I'm so happy.
I think you're funny too, if it makes you happy.
I think that's all I've been up to, other than playing Baldur's Gate 3 and reading all of Chainsaw Man.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
Which I did in a day.
Oh yeah, I also read all of Chainsaw Man in a day.
Oh my god.
No, and now you're gonna talk about Chainsaw Man spoilers, and I'm gonna have to leave again.
I'm not gonna talk about Chainsaw Man. I'm just gonna say that Makima can put a leash on me any day.
I'm so glad.
What about Beato?
Yeah. What about Beato? That's so true.
I can have two dominant women in my life.
I don't think two dominant women will like to share a dog though.
Listen. Beato, I want to like lovingly hold and like validate her and let her know that I love her. Makima, I'll try pet play for her. I'm not into it, but like for her, I will.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
So, any more things you've been doing, or should we move on to the episode?
We should move on to the episode.
Did you guys ever read American Born Chinese? It's like that graphic novel they turned into a show with the Everything Everywhere people. Like, I mean, spoiler. Yes. Ice cream, so good. Anyways,
you have too many MK Ultra triggers in your brain. You need to like get some of them out of here.
I need more bullets. I swear to God. That's why I can't remember anything I did in the past 3 months. I've been like scrolling on TikTok. I'm like Robot Chicken, you know? They like strap me to a chair and they just like scroll TikTok in front of my eyes against my will. I'm just like like seriously, what was I even saying? I was saying something about American Born Chinese. Yeah, wait. Okay, so I mean, I would maybe recommend it. I'm just gonna spoil it for you guys, but basically it's about this little Chinese boy who like grows up in America and he hates being Chinese so bad that he turns into a white guy.
Oh my god, sorry.
It's just like Michael Jackson, but for Asians.
Oh, yeah. Speaking about Michael Jackson for Asians, this is very short. I know we're supposed to talk about Umineko, and we will talk about Umineko, I promise. But I used to know this Korean kid. This Korean girl was like really good friends with me, but her younger brother was like kind of fucking weird, and like her dad only speaks in Korean, and her younger brother only speaks English. So they would just talk to each other. Like he would only speak English, and and Dad would only speak in like Korean, and like literally when I asked him, I was like, "Hey, what do you want to do when you grow up?" And he was like, "When I grow up, I'm gonna get plastic surgery to look more white." And I was like, "Oh my god, you're fucking insane."
Oh my god, Ollie London. He's gonna turn into Ollie London. I love that.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, sorry. We need to talk.
RCTW.
Yeah,
Race change to white.
Okay, no, this is way too deep cut. Like we are going off the rails.
Yeah, we are.
That's some queen card shit, as I would say, as the kids say. I'm the kids. I'd be saying that.
Lorenzo is out here pretending to be and it's so eepy. And it's like, Dad, it's like, you're 30 years old. Shut the fuck up. Go to work.
Truly.
Sorry.
I swear, my brains are leaking out of my ears. All I can think of are just like TikTok memes, and honestly, I got that dementia dog in me. Like, the fuck.
We really need to move on with our lives.
Anyways, let's talk a little bit about this cool little anime Japanese story from the motherland of Nippon called Umineko no Nakukoro ni Episode 5.
We're finishing it. It's the grand finale.
I'm so excited.
No way.
Yeah, actually, it did finish. It finished, and now it's gonna finish again.
Yeah.
Umineko really has closure issues. It always finishes 3 times every episode.
Yeah, it got like 3 fat fucking loads in it. But so last where we left off.
The refractal period. Oh my god.
Umineko's got a really short refractory period. It just keeps going.
Okay.
So yeah, like Battler just like fucking died, and Umineko's over.
He's so Jover.
It's so Jover for him.
Yeah. Well, he gets like murder. He gets Vlad the Impaled right through his chest, through his mouth, out his asshole.
You always do that joke. I love it. I've memorized it.
He just be there. He's dead. And then, non-verbal Beatrice comes up to him and is like, "I can't believe you've done this," and then just decides to fucking die. And there's like a little bit of a flashback. Like the timeline's a little bit weird, but basically, I don't really know when this happens, but there's this whole conversation within the Golden Land with Metaverse Golden Land with Battler and Delanor talking about, "Hey, who are you, Delanor?" And she's like, "I'm autism incarnate. I can tell you why the way you're solving this mystery is incorrect, because I have 10 strict rules you must follow to solve this mystery." And then Battler's like, "Oh, wait a second." And then he solves the mystery. Yeah. And then he like revives.
The Nox Decalogue is really useful, because even if you're like the whole thing is like you don't know if a mystery is following the Decalogue or not, but like even if it's not the Decalogue, it's still useful to try and identify what the rule that's being broken is, and then through that you can actually reach the truth. Right.
So this is basically Ryukishi's like final last ditch, like, "Hey, okay, if you want to solve the mystery by yourself, here are like the most important like a golden era detective rules that you can solve the mystery with." So he like lists them out like 5 times, the same times, and then Battler has like this epiphany. He's like, "Oh, wait a second, this is why this whole story happened. This is why Beatrice was putting me through the ringer trying to solve this mystery. I think I get it now." So then he comes back to life, encounters Erica and the witch, Erica and the other witches, and they're like, "Oh my god, his power level is over 9,000. He knows the story now." And then they have this huge back and forth about like how Battler can prove that he was not the culprit, and that he fully understands the story, and he whips out his big golden truth, which is basically Ryukishi's like, "You dumb idiots, like if you haven't solved the mystery by now, here's like, I'm telling you this answer right now." This is like his like golden truth, like.
Yeah. At present, if you're reading it for the first time, you don't exactly get what the golden truth is, but eventually you will understand exactly.
Right. They say it's like the ruler of this world, this story, the author of this story. This is like them telling you this is a base truth within the story, and that being Kinzo is dead in the first place, and he's basically hitting home. Yeah, Kinzo is dead.
Yeah.
And I know the answer to Umineko no Naku Koro ni, so let's start episode 6, baby.
Yeah, it's...
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say that's basically how this secret tea party ends. There's like a huge back and forth that kind of like hints at Battler knowing the truth and how he will reveal who the full true culprit is by fighting Erika's messed up, dark and twisted, messed up hamburger helper version of Umineko.
Yeah, because Erika is really adamant on going through with this wrong explanation, and so Butler just figures out what actually is going on in this episode. Butler, I wish you were here in the episode to help us discuss this, since you do know the truth, but he basically is like, no, this is what happened, and then since they can't counter it, there are now 2 theories in effect. So since Butler isn't denying the other theory, but Erika also cannot prove Butler's new theory to be wrong, there are now 2 existing theories, which means Erika's theory is no longer a truth, but just a theory, and that's how he beats Erika, and they move on to the next
Just a game theory.
Yeah, and this is such a good fucking scene, because up until now Butler has always been the one to be slapped in the face by random witch game mechanics that he didn't know of. First it's the red truth, then the blue truth, then it's the fact that you can bring pieces into the meta world to testify, and then the fact that you can take pieces from the meta world into the game board, as is the case with Erika. So now Butler is the one introducing game witch mechanics that the other side didn't know about.
That's very good.
Yeah. So, anybody have any like insights on the? I mean, I know we've been like having like the non-spoiler talk / spoiler division, but like this is so very spoiler territory that like we could maybe just say this is spoilers. Tune out if you don't want to listen.
Yeah. all my further thoughts are spoilery, so I don't know if anybody has any spoilery
right. Well, if you somehow haven't finished Umineko before we like got to this point, like get the hell out of here. You know what? Stop reading Umineko. You don't need to. You finished it. Like Battler died. Beatrice died too.
Yeah, like all the good characters are gone.
Right? Like damn.
Except for Erika.
I hope you like the variety, the 50 minutes of variety show and the half a minute long of spoiler-free discussion.
I cannot believe we talked for 50 minutes. I wonder if we're gonna even dwindle it down. It's so much.
I mean, it's not. I mean, this is literally the end of the episode. We even told like, this episode's gonna basically have no content. It's basically just gonna be us discussing Ep5 theories in the spoilery part. Like, there's nothing to discuss that's spoiler-free here.
Yeah, like aside from like Gold Truth was pretty cool, huh? Wonder what that means. Wonder what the deal with the Gold Truth is.
I don't wonder what that means.
Is that crazy? New color just dropped.
Why is it weaker than the Red Truth, but sometimes stronger? I wonder.
Well, I think we just have to go into spoiler, correct? Is that what the class have decided?
Yep.
There's a consensus. Let's do it. All right. Okay, log off if you haven't listened or read past this part.
See you.
GTFO. We don't like you. Go home.
Wait. One non-spoiler thought. I do have one.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
I think that this is like a start of like a really sweet side of Delanor and Erika's relationship, with Delanor like being like, I won't let anyone deny your truth, Erika. Like even though like know Delanor's kind of been against Erika's methods this whole time, she's still a protector of truth, a protector of theories, and I think she feels some sympathy for Erika, and I get really soft about that, because like Erika's like, did Delanor like she's like so shocked about it, to like have someone like stand up for her like that, especially after being bullied by the other witches. When the antagonist shows a soft side. Yeah, she just starts crying.
But yeah, I really like that Ryukishi made Dvanor, like Dvanor is just a representation of rules, but then she's not just as simple as that, she's her whole character. Her work is being the representation of rules, but like that's not who she is as her character. She still has her personality and likings and own emotions.
Yeah, like after like the witches have been like laughing and like poking fun at her for Delano to go out of her way and say like, hey, I'll protect your truth, like no matter how pathetic it may seem, I won't laugh at it. And Erica just like breaking out sobbing. I'm just like, that's such a moment, and it's such like a really good moment of characterization for both of them. And like, you know, like Vern Castell like gives her another chance, and like, you know, like after giving the yes my master, she immediately like goes to Delano and is like still fucking crying and all pathetic, sopping wet on the floor. And you know, like Delano's like, I'm gonna give it my all, don't you worry, like I'm with you. And then Erica is able to kind of like get up and start like being her normal terrible self again. But I'm just like, aw. I'm like, I'm so soft about them.
They gotta be one of my favorite pairings in Umineko.
Me too, they're so fascinating.
So, spoiler part?
Spoiler time.
Let's go!
Drop it.
Okay, so now that we're in the spoiler part, I just quickly wanna resume my thought from earlier, now with spoilers, which is that Butler didn't, like, he could have just straight up answered Erika's wrong theory with the red truth, now that he can use it, but he didn't. He instead just created another theory that would compete with Erika's. And I think that's such a power move, not only because he's showing that he understands the story to the point of giving it yet another theory when it seemed like there was no room possible for another theory besides Erika's, but also protecting canon, because if you was using the red truth, you know, every time you use the red truth, you make the mystery side grow closer to the truth. So instead he used the golden truth to protect Sayu, to hide details.
It is very nice. There's a lot of decisions in the end of EP, in the end here that like really shows you the amount of understanding Battler gets at the of the story, and like, which is one of the reasons why he gets to become the territory lord. Like, in a way that like, how do I say it? Like, there's a difference between like actually being able to like understand the Umineko story and like what Erica becomes, what Erica was going to become, which is that like Erica decided on a truth was real and then had like two witches back, like, well, one witch back her up and being like, well, we decided to hand it to you and you get to be the de facto, like, basically head of this like domain, and you get to write whatever fucking story it is. And the truth is that like, I think we had probably argued about this in previous chunks where we talked about how, like, if Erica knows, like, solves it, and it's like, no, like, I don't, even in the very, very end, like, Erica just didn't really get it. Like, I think, probably to the very, very end, maybe she had some inkling, but, like, I feel like she doesn't have love enough to, like, you know, actually admit it or, like, actually think it's a viable answer. And I think the actions that Battler takes here shows a great amount of understanding, and understanding the full truth and nothing but the truth, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So yeah, I was gonna ask, what was the theory you were talking about, Lurf, that you said you were trying to check off if it was correct or not?
Wait, before we get into theories, we should say our thoughts before we get into theories, because I know once we get into theories, we're only gonna talk about theories, understandably so. I wanted to check what everyone thinks it means on a game board level for Butler to be using the golden truth.
My personal interpretation of the golden truth is kind of like an unwavering belief in something, to the point where it is true for you. So like, say like, you know, you read Umineko, like, say like you don't know the solution and you don't have the red truth that Nazi isn't the culprit, but you read it and you have your proof, and even though like you don't like have solid evidence, you yourself can believe that Nazi isn't the culprit, and no one can prove you wrong, because that is your belief and your interpretation of the story. And we know later that like Beato the Elder can say like, oh, you used magic in Gold Truth, which is, you know, her belief, her perspective on things, and you can't really change people's point of view like that if it's like an unwavering thing for them, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that, but I was asking, like, because like, he uses it on the meta world, but what is happening on the game board to mirror that? Because I think that's just game board Butler, now that since he got the gold and he has more information about the inner workings of this island than the rest of the family. Like on the game board, the argument that's happening is Erika cornering Natsuhi and accusing her of cheating on her husband with Kinzo. So what Butler does is, now that he knows Kinzo is dead, he shows Kinzo's sunburned corpse to everyone on the island, and they all, are in agreement. Yeah, that's Kinzo. The corpse isn't burnt. We can identify that as being Kinzo, and he's dead. And so it's impossible for Natsuhi to have slept with Kinzo tonight. And since everyone is in agreement, it is the golden truth.
That is possible. I'm not really sure if Game Board Battler could prove that Kinzo is dead, but like, because I don't know if they're like accusing the slept with Kinzo thing on the game board, or if that's like a witch thing that they're doing.
No, they're doing it on the game board too, because that's where they get the whole argument that Erika's like, oh, I sealed all the doors, and the only door that wasn't sealed was your room, Natsuhi. So that's the only place Kinzo can be hiding in.
Okay. Yeah, no, I can see that. In which case, I do feel like Battler would kind of like argue against the ridiculousness of that. And the thing is, all the other adults know that Kinzo is dead. They're just trying to get Natsuhi to admit it. And I think by that point, it gets kind of obvious. I don't think anyone would stand up for it, but I do think it's possible that maybe Sayo informed Battler that Kinzo is dead, gave him that information, that sweet insider information, given that, most of everyone is working together to some degree. So, they can prove that for certain, and then I think Battler would stand up for Natsuhi regardless and kind of shield her from everyone else, even though he doesn't, like, necessarily... Well, no, he does kind of have proof. I mean, like, everyone is, like, dogpiling against her and, like, trying to get her to admit it, but Battler using the gold truth is kind of like, I know, and I fully believe that Natsuhi didn't do anything wrong here. Because, like, he knows about, like, the prank set up with the fake murders, and even though, like, Klaus is gone, he's like, I don't believe she would... Battler's like, I don't believe she would kill her husband. So he's able to kind of stand up for her in that way without having solid evidence. So it's, his belief, like his conviction, which would align well with the blue, not the blue, the gold truth.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say this about the gold truth, which is that, like, I think, like, some people like to, I think, like, lots of people I have seen talked about gold truth as emotional truth, which I think it's, like, I feel like that's really hard to say, because I think, like, when people are saying, like, truth versus, like, hard truth, like, emotional truth is, like, a thing that, like, is just kind of flimsy to say. Like, you could say, like, oh, my emotional truth is that, like, Angel believes that, like, Eva killed my whole family, and that's my emotional truth. Like, like, I feel like that's a very bad way to put it. Like, like, you could believe in plenty of bad things, wrong things that are bad. Like, then
But isn't that straight up what Anshi does in EP8? She's like, I don't exactly know what happened on the island, but I'll choose to believe, and I don't exactly know what my parents were doing behind the scenes, but I choose to believe they still loved me despite everything.
Yeah.
Even though the media is saying horrible things about them.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to, like, that's what I'm thinking of. Like, I'm trying to decide on, like, the justification of that, because, like, how do I say this? I feel like a lot of people walk out of Umineko having lots of confused idea about, like, what they think Ryukishi is here to say, and some people are like, don't believe in anybody, believe in yourself. Which I think, cool theory, bro, but, like, I don't think that's exactly what Ryukishi, like, not in the exact way, like, we think it is. It's not, like, it's not that simple in that way of, like, a blind, like, just, like, a way of blind believing in any other way. I feel like that's one of the reasons why Ryukishi has this idea with, like, seeing with love, and, like, and also believing in emotional truth, and, like, I also think it's kind of tough to basically, like, I think, like, one type of theory when you say, like, oh, Battler's using the golden truth, is because gold, as in the Battler is now, like, technically speaking, also kind of like the head of the family, because he solved the epitaph, which, he has the gold, which is, what Des said, like, what happens on the game board. I feel like there's a difference between, like, arguing about, like, Natsuhi is not a murderer because we know her deep down, and like we know that she wouldn't have done this, and are you because you have the greatest authority because you found a bunch of gold. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like that's two very different way of arguing.
But I think both are right. I think the golden truth is exactly that. It's both those things. It's both. Everyone in this group chose to go along with this lie, so it becomes a golden truth because the only ones who possess the actual truth are choosing to obfuscate that truth. So like this false truth becomes the truth, this golden truth, which is often associated with people being paid gold to go along with the lie. But it also is the emotional truth of being like, everyone's saying my parents are horrible people, but they don't have proof, so I'll just choose to believe they were good people and they're not the culprits. It's both those things.
I'm not sure if I would equate golden truth to bribery, because that's what the golden magic is about. It's bribing people so that they claim to have seen other things, but they don't believe in that. Like, that's not their emotional truth. They were paid off, hence like golden magic. I think golden truth is almost kind of like a religious thing in my mind, where like to some people God is very real, and for other people God isn't, or that they believe in a different kind of God, and like to them like that is the truth and you can't convince them otherwise. And that's kind of how I think golden truth works, as in like, this is what I choose to believe, and in my heart this is true, and nothing outside of this can convince me otherwise, because in my heart I know that I'm right.
But then how does that work for this situation in specifically? Like But we're saying in let me go pull up the exact quote.
Because you know, they say like, oh, in some instances it is stronger than red truth, and other times it is weaker. And I think when it comes to interpreting a story, like Battler is doing here, it it's something that can't be countered, because that is what he took away from the story. Like, that is his theory, that the corpse is Ushiromiya Kinzo's corpse or whatever.
Yeah, that's what he says. He says, I guarantee that this corpse is Ushiromiya Kinzo's corpse. So then to you this means that they're all looking at a corpse, and then Butler says in his interpretation this is Kinzo's corpse.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's just like a very clear, like, I believe this to be true, and I'm sure most of you know it to be true as well, kind of a thing, even though you can keep arguing about it. They do know that Kinzo's dead, and you also have the polydactyly thing to, back him up. So like, even though they can be like, oh, well, like it could be a fake corpse, or like it could be like a different corpse that they found someone with polydactyly and they set it up, but like that's kind of ridiculous.
Okay, we disagree in this point, that I think it's the golden truth stands for both emotional truth and also agreement within a group. We disagree on that point, but here's why I think in this specific case it is being used as agreement, because if the whole family is looking at this corpse, this is basically the conclusion everyone in the family wanted to get, which is to prove Kinzo has been dead for years. And so upon this corpse discovery, regardless of whether it really was Kinzo or not, everyone would want to claim this is Kinzo. And even though Natsuki culprit theory was doing wonders for the family, now they have the concrete evidence they need. So they no longer need to go along with Erika's selfish cornering of Natsuki. So and this goes along with what's happening on the Meta World. Erika was presenting her theory, and then Butler shows this, and now there's two theories in effect. It's not that the golden truth is inherently stronger, it's just that in this specific situation, the people who were present benefited more from this, so they all decided to be in agreement that yes, this is what's happening now. This is Ushiromiya Kinzo's corpse. We no longer care whether Natsuki was cheating or not. This is Ushiromiya Kinzo's corpse, and this is the truth now.
Yeah, I mean, I agree in the point where, like, everyone is in agreement. Like, if they do see the corpse, like, I'm sure they're all like, okay, well, we actually do have our proof. Like, even Natsuki, even if you are still fighting against it, like, we have our proof, we know it's true. I think in that case, yeah, but, like, in general, overall, as a golden truth, I don't think it's something that multiple people, can like be like bribed to agree upon, or just like agree upon in general, you know. Like Beato's whole like, oh, you used a splendid bit of magic there in Gold Truth, when she says that in episode 6, like that's not something a lot of people are going to agree with, or even believe if they're given that in Gold. But you know, like in terms of the Gold Truth here, it is something believable that like other people would prescribe to, like believably, but like at its core, it is a belief of battlers in the moment.
Well, I think this is the kind of thing where as we go along the story, maybe my ideas might change.
Yeah.
It feels like a very volatile concept that we can still change our opinions on.
Yeah, I was also going to say, like, I feel like this is the type of thing where I'm really excited to, like, you know, follow through with the podcast to be able to come to a better understanding, because, like, this is the same thing I have about, like, why does Angel EP4, like, what's the difference between Angel EP4 and Angel EP8? Like, I keep thinking about that, and it makes me, it like kind of just drives a hole in my brain. And the fact that like the reason why they talk about like Gold Truth is as powerful and as not as powerful, and like what does making Gold Truth mean, like as in what does a Gold Truth in any scenario when somebody says it, like how do I like, if anything, if I was gonna say, like, instead of being like all the family member agree upon the Golden Truth because of gold or whatever, it's a, like, maybe he has an even more emotional pleading, like I can't, like, I don't know, it has to be something that's different from the Blue Truth. And like the fact that like Battler says,
because you don't need proof for a Gold Truth like you do with a Blue Truth.
Like, yeah, like, well, like,
yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, I'm like, what I'm saying is that, like, what's the difference then? Like, you know, like, if Ryukishi decided to A, give it a color, and B, like, you know, make it incredibly an important thematic thing, and, you know, people think, like, wow, that's a fucking OP thing, like, you know, what is that gonna change to the power scaling meta that we have on Reddit? But, like, I'm saying, but, like, I think, like, the quintessential difference between this truth is that, like, it's pleading to something emotional about everybody, you know, like, because
I feel like it's a very personal thing.
It's a very personal thing. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I feel like we might have to just move on from this topic so that we can, like, think of something else better to talk about. But, like, I feel like this is something I will probably not be happy with until I, like, figure myself the fuck up, if that makes any sense.
No, yeah, exactly. That's why I called it a volatile concept, because it has just been introduced. We're only now starting to cover it in the podcast. I believe our understanding of it will deepen and consolidate as we go.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think of it more of as even though Butler uses it as a sword, I think of it more like a shield. Because when you use the Blue Truth, you're trying to attack the opponent, trying to understand what they're hiding, trying to reach a truth. In this, you're like saying, no, fuck that. This is my truth. I don't care what the truth is. This is my truth. And then the Red Truth might say, no, you're just straight up wrong. This is what happened. Then you're like, I don't give a fuck. This is what happened to me. So that's why it's sometimes stronger, sometimes weaker. Because like to yourself, it may be stronger, but like to the general pop audience, it may be weaker. And then in this scenario, it's equally as strong as the Red Truth, simply because this is a battle of truths, and none of the two truths existent at this moment are self-contradictory, but none of them straight up cancels the other, so both can exist at the same time. That's why they move on to the next game.
He's not countering a Red Truth with it, though. He is countering well, I guess he is countering Nox, which is a Red Truth, never mind. But in my interpretation, Gold Truth is stronger than Blue Truth, and then kind of on like 50-50 footing with Red Truth, whereas like it can like defeat it, but it can also probably be also like cut down by it, because if you like personally believe something and then someone shows you like really, really strong evidence that you're wrong, like either you gotta like practice some like really heavy cognitive dissonance, or you just gotta be like, fuck, I guess I was wrong, you know?
Yeah, my mother really liked to use Golden Truth in that way. Here's a lot of evidence you're wrong. No, I don't give a fuck. You're wrong, son. I'm right. I'm the mother. I pay for this household. It's my house, my rules.
Oh my god.
Parents love using the gold truth.
They do. Fuckers.
Okay, this is what I mean by that's what I don't like about the fact of people talking about gold truth. Like, I feel like there's something, like, how do I say this? Like, I feel like gold truth has to be something more special than just saying I'm plugging.
It's a headcanon.
You know, like, it's there's something emotional about it. Like, you know, if we could just all say, like, you know, blah blah blah, fuck you, this is the like you know, okay, I have a point about this.
No, I get what you're trying to say, yeah. You can't just say, I'm wrong, you're wrong, I'm right, and that's just a theme of the story now.
Yeah, exactly. Because, like, if that is it, like, why can't, like, you know, people like, Sayo, or we're in spoiler territory, right? Correct? I mean, like, not crazy.
Yeah.
Like, why can't Sayo just be like, oh yeah, my golden truth is that all of you people are the most, like, I feel like it has to be something not positive, but it's something like, you know, it's equivalent to faith in a way that's like like actually about and it's that in actually in a way is about a like feeling that is pure, that is like not because like an unwavering belief about something that's like and that it has to be like you're putting in love. Like, there has to be love somewhere. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like
no, like I was saying, I view it as like a religious thing, like, you know, like how it's a gold truth to people that like God exists, which like can be very, very true for some people and then probably not true for some other people. I think it's like an important like personal truth to you that you like unwaveringly believe in, that like, you know, colors the way you perceive the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like, you know, Angie can say that she wants to believe her family like loved her in the end, and that is like a personal, unwavering truth that colors the way that like she now like perceives the world and goes on with her life. Beato can talk about like magic being real in gold, which is a personal truth to her that like really like, you know, like dictates how she lives. Battler can have, you know, like the faith in Natsuhi and like know like, hey, yeah, Kinzo is dead and this is how like I'm going to see this situation going forth, and nothing can change my mind about this because I want to believe in Natsuhi, and we all know that, you know, this isn't right, and I know this isn't right, you know, like it's basically like an unwavering worldview. That means a lot to the person. That's how I see it.
My brain is we need to move on with this topic at this point.
We do.
Okay, what is the next course of action?
Worth has some interesting ideas to discuss. I'm personally gonna out myself as not having anything new to bring to the table. I'm still at the same place I was last episode. I have no fucking idea to break this episode any more than I already did.
Okay. I recall upon the last podcast episode that I listened to, the last book club, that we had a problem known as the canon problem, in which Sayo could be on the phone for the first 2 phone calls. However, then Canon fucking knocks on the door and speaks during the last phone call that Mr. 19 years ago baby gives to Natsuhi.
And it seems like the call is not a recording. That's another thing.
Yeah.
I want to say.
My first thought was like, oh, you know, like recording, like you record multiple lines. We have like the recorder, like, you know, like the tape thing foreshadowed. Well, not like foreshadowed, but like explicitly brought up. And that was my weaker theory, because, you know, I go through and it's very clear that they're having a back and forth conversation. Mm-hmm. And, you know, the tape thing was explicitly for recording Klaus's voice. So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, right, barbecue sauce on my titties. And I realize there's something that is specially done in this episode that is not done in any other episode. Mm-hmm. And it really got me thinking, okay, why would Rikishi do this? Why would he, like, specifically, like, put this detail in here as something we need to know? In the first phone call, it doesn't happen. And because of this, I believe that the very first 19 years ago call is Sayo. But the other two at the end of
let's just remind ourselves what the phone calls are. So the first one is before the family conference, right?
The first one is before the family conference, just introducing the concept of the baby of 19 years ago.
Second one is the card trick, right?
Yeah, the other one is the card trick, and then the third one is the go play hide and seek.
And the second one happens before, or no, it happens on the day of the conference before the family arrives, right?
It happens during the True Family Conference, in between when Klaus, Genji, and Natsuki leave, and when Klaus and Genji return.
Oh, so the family is already on the island. Okay.
Yeah. The first one happens when they're not on the island. But in the meta world, after the first call, you cut to
Lambda.
No. In the first call, Vern Castell is like, "Hey, Lambda, you good?" And then they like talk about it, and they talk about the legitimacy of it or whatever. And you cut forward. But in the last two calls, when we cut back to the meta world after the 19 years ago call, we explicitly see Lambda doing a voice and pretending to be the man from 19 years ago. Where in the first call, she isn't doing that.
Oh my god.
Vern Castell makes a explicit call out, "Hey, you can change your voice? You can do that?" And Lambda's like, "Yeah, I can do any voice you want me to." Which means that, that we never get something like this in any other thing. We never cut back to the meta world and see another character playing as a piece as another character. We explicitly get a call out that some character is able to voice act pretty well to disguise their voice as the man from 19 years ago, and that is an explicit thing pointed out in the text that Ryakishi thought was important to include. And I was looking through it, and I'm pretty sure that the most likely option is Genji.
No, I fucking no. No.
What do you mean?
Genji is the only one able to do it. He's the only one who would have the opportunity to.
Genji is a voice actor?
Genji
Genji's a voice actor.
Genji VTuber.
Oh my god. How the fuck?
No, because I didn't want to believe it was Genji. I really didn't. Because in my brain his voice is so deep, but I have to remember that, Umineko was written without voice acting first.
Why would it be?
But would Natsuki not know the voice of
not
the
if
servant?
Genji can change his voice.
Oh my god,
Because
okay.
each and every time, who is it that transfers the call? It's Genji. Genji's the one that transfers the call to Natsuki. And during the third call, Genji's dead, so no one's wondering where Genji is, because Genji is pretending to be dead, so he could easily call Natsuki in the morning.
I was screaming and crying and crawling on the floor.
Because Battler can't do it, because he is never in a position where he would actually be able to do that at that time.
Wait, I need a loyalist explanation for this. I can buy, okay, they weren't counting on Genji's voice being so deep. But then, when they did do the dub, why would they choose to make Butler's voice actor dub the lines on the phone?
Because at the end of Ep5, Battler has a theory of what if I was the man from 19 years ago? And so retroactively, you can view it through that lens.
Shit, I've used this argument before. Fuck,
Yeah.
I'm fighting myself.
You fucked yourself.
Evil death be like.
Genji man from 19 years ago truther.
I can't.
I'm making headlines. I'm pulling out things no one's ever seen before.
Grrr.
What? You can't prove me wrong. If anything, I have more evidence to prove me right. Who else would do it?
Hey, listen, when I used the argument of Umineko retroactive writing, that's why after Butler made the argument he was the culprit at the end, it retroactively makes him the voice of the phone call. Listen, I was just trying... confession time. I was just trying to bail myself out. I needed something to conclude the theory with. I don't actually think that's a solid answer. That was kind of just me desperately mental gymnasticking my way out of
Grasping
it.
at straws.
Yes. Some things make sense to be explained through retroactive writing. I don't think this is one of them.
Yeah, no, I don't, because Battler never has the right opportunity. Because first call, we can easily excuse that as Sayo. We have no one pretending to do the man from 19 years ago voice. even so, Genji is still the one who transfers the call, so if it was Genji the whole time, it wouldn't surprise me.
What Ryukishi should have done for us is introduce that there's a balloon that Genji makes for, Maria and another EP, so we know helium exists on Genshin not Genshin Impact. What am I going? Genshin Impact.
Did you just fucking?
I just said Genshin Impact. My brain is literally falling out of my fucking eye socket by the minute. I need Ryukishi to be in any other EP being like, hey, we just pumped you a balloon animal or whatever, and then I would know that helium exists on Rokenjima, and then I could take this theory more seriously. That
the reason.
Hang on, let me read how Natsuhi describes the voice. This is important.
It's not a man, not a woman.
I will sooner buy Natsuhi's just misinterpreting the voice explanation than this, because I'm fine with Genji being a voice actor genius, but the fact that it's Butler's voice acting reading the line, that's what doesn't sit well with me.
Well, I don't really give a shit about the fact that Battler voice acting a line.
Ignore the voice acting. Umineko was not written with voice acting in mind at first.
But it then got voice acting. Are you telling me?
It got voice acting, and that's the best way to do it without spoiling anything, and while still giving them a voice.
I think it's interesting to give Battler a voice. I think it's interesting to give it the Battler voice because it plants seeds of doubt in your brain.
It does.
This is I think it's an interest. Okay, let's talk about the fact of why is it good to give Battler voice acting for that moment. Not for the scene, but for the overall themes of EP5. The overall themes of EP5 is understanding that Battler is not the detective, which means that he could be accomplice, and also the understanding of what is an accomplice and what is it a detective, which is the whole thematics of EP5, correct? Would you say the understanding of Battler could now be participated into things. Now Battler could say I see a Kingzo, and I think we have always been seen as Battler's perspective as the 100% perspective that we should always be following. The fact that we have introduced that Battler's voice as a doubting factor layers upon the the doubt of him later on seeing Kingzo. I understand. I think it's a very good device to sow seeds of doubt, and of course how does that work for the greater narrative of did Battler take the phone call? I feel that he's the best person to give a neutral voice to give a phone call to, because especially after they told you it is 100% not him in the court section. They say, no, you didn't do the phone calls. Because that's a truth, right? Am I crazy? Am I fucking...
No, Battler is basically I could create a theory where I did it. Where I was the man from 19 years ago and these were my phone calls. But because he's saying that and is putting that out there as a theory, we know it ain't fucking true. He's not giving Erica anything that's really, really true, aside from Kinzo's dead,
Yeah,
he's not gonna be he's not gonna out the real solution.
Yeah,
he has to work for it.
Think that is that makes it that it gives him it's the best voice. It's the best neutral voice to give, while also adding on to the story. Because let's talk about the fact of what other voice decisions could they have gone for. Giving it voice for...
They could either do an existing voice actor.
Yeah, an existing voice actor on the island, which would be 100 times worse, because then you would be oh my god, that's Goda's voice. Why the fuck is Goda speaking? And then, even after we decided that, it's not Goda speaking, be why the fuck did they choose Goda's voice? At least...
if it's not to foreshadow that Goda is suspicious.
Yes.
We know Battler isn't suspicious. We know he's not involved. We know he's not the culprit. We have that in red, from other games. Earlier, Virgilia was Battler is not the culprit. In any games, he doesn't do any killing, whatever. So, to have it be another person on the island, that immediately puts into doubt everything about them and gives the wrong idea that they're involved in something, you know? Or that they are the man from 19 years ago. And if you give them a totally random voice, then it's kind of like, hey, what the fuck? You know?
Guys, I have a new idea.
Oh my god, I'm so scared.
Just came to me.
I'm so excited. So where are you going
Wait,
with this?
This is fucking stupid, but I think it works.
Oh no, I'm so scared.
Okay, tell me, class.
Okay.
What is Lambda Delta's goal with like Umineko in general,
Fuck around and find out.
or goals?
No, she's a Beobato shipper on deck.
She is.
She wants.
She's a Beabato shipper. She wants a perpetual tie, which is not happening right now because Beato fucking died. She wants to trap Bern. She wants to win by perpetuating a tie, which again is not happening right now. What if she fucking dubbed these lines as butter, because she, knowing Bern so well, knew exactly where Erika would with her theory, and she knew she could weave this story in a way that there could only be 3 explanations: the Shkanen one, Bern's, and a butter culprit theory one. And she's the witch of certainty. She weaved it in a way that would certainly make Butter realize the truth and go for the only theory that was left, which was Butter culprit theory, in turn making the voices his, so that's why she dubbed the voices with Butter's lines.
You know what? I can live with that.
Is that cool? Like, does that work?
I can live with Lambda Delta retroactively, like when putting this on like the shelf of like Featherine's library. That it would
Like, it wasn't even retroactive. It was just predicting, because she was certain it would happen.
either way. I think it works. I think that's a good meta explanation.
I feel like, yeah, I like I like the explanations of a bunch of things that happen in EP5. Is like, why did this happen? It's like, well, Lambda willed it because she's funny and she understands what good content looks like.
I will never get over the writing when it's all like, oh, Goda and Shannon are happily singing in the kitchen because they get along so well, and then Cannon walked in the bad mood he usually had all day long. Like, Lambda Delta's the funniest Umineko forgery writer.
But like, it isn't even that silly, because think about it. The only 3 possible theories for this episode all represent the different sides. Bern has the mystery side, and then Beato has the witch side, which Lambda Delta does not want to be exposed, because that way
they can continuously play it forever.
And then you have the anti-fantasy side.
yeah, she wants the Butler culprit theory. She wants the Butler culprit theory to win, because that's the only one that will lead to a tie. So that's the only one. She weaves the story in a way that if Butler does reach the truth, he will not go for the Shkanen one. He will go for the Butler culprit theory one. So she can totally make it Butler's voice do the lines, because she knows where this story will end up. It will end up with Butler culprit theory.
Yeah, that's honestly a banger. That's an honestly banger explanation. I'm very happy.
Moving back to the game board for my Genji voice actor theory.
Okay, yes.
I first of all, I don't think it is completely unbelievable that Genji could like just like pitch up his voice on the phone and like through the phone like audio, especially that given that like it's probably an old phone, it's 1986, and we're also in the middle of like a typhoon, so who knows how things are sounding. That Natsuhi would misinterpret the voice.
And he could also be speaking into a fan or something.
Yeah,
to change his voice.
Yeah, he could be doing many things to change his voice. I don't think it's unbelievable. I don't think it's unbelievable to think that Genji could be a voice actor. He could do so many things. I have complete faith in him. Because mostly Natsuhi is kind of like, oh, like it could be like a young boy or like an adult whose like voice hasn't like really deepened, and then she's like, well, maybe I shouldn't assume it's a guy, but like, you know, like overall she leans masculine and will always refer to the man from 19 years ago with masculine pronouns. Whether Genji's doing the first call or not is up in the air, but I can see it because Sayo may want consistency throughout the voice. But I can also see it being a thing is like once Natsuhi has it in her head that there is a man from 19 years ago that can be calling, even if they sound a little different on the phone, she could still probably misinterpret it. I could also see Sayo like deepening their voice the first time, so it sounds different the next time. Because either way, like, Natsuhi would probably recognize Shannon or Cannon's voice if they spoke on the phone. So someone is changing their voice to make sure that Natsuhi doesn't, like, click on it right away. But then, if you go to the future, to the next calls, you realize something very special, which is the fact that Genji is also the most likely culprit who could have killed Klaus and recorded his voice. Because when they leave the conference, it is Genji, Natsuhi, and Klaus. And Genji's like, hey, madam, Mr. Man from 19 years ago called. I can transfer the call to your room if you'd like. And she's like, shit, okay. So she goes to her room. And it's just Klaus and Genji. And, you know, it says later that they return to the family conference. But did they? Did Klaus actually return? We don't know, because everyone in that room is a fucking liar and is in on the prank.
Yeah.
So
I will say I do not like the idea of Genji being the one doing the calls, but I really like how you're doing this in a way that it really fits everything and it checks out and it's valid.
Genji's always the one that transfers the call, and no one else would be able to do it, especially during the moment of the family conference. Because if everyone is in the room, like Shannon, Cannon in the room, Battler, all the family members, all the cousins and everyone else, and Erika and Nanjo in the guest house, like Kumasawa I think is also in the guest house, so she can't do it. So like the only people out in the hall are Klaus and Genji. And Klaus isn't doing it, because we hear him later on the phone, in the recording before he dies. And Nazi immediately recognized his voice. So, like, who else could it be?
Wait, does the phone call happen when everyone's still together? Don't they, like, do a break or something?
Yeah, basically it happens between... Natsuhi takes a moment to step out, and I believe, like, Klaus follows her, or vice versa, like, Klaus takes a moment to, like, step out and take a breather. But, like, regardless of whatever... Everyone stays in the room. Meanwhile, like, Shannon and Cannon come by, and they plot out the thing with the letter and the heads ring. So Shannon and Cannon have to be there to give Battler the heads ring, because they're the only people who would have it. And then...
Yeah, but Erika isn't there at the time.
No, Erika is in the guest house, and she stays there. And we know for a fact that no one left the guest house.
So Sayo could have been the one to make the phone calls anyway.
No, because I believe that Lambda Delta sealed the parlor. I have to check the red truce for that.
But they don't have to leave the parlor, because everyone in the parlor right now is in on it.
I don't think they're in on this part of it, because everyone is confused when she brings up the baby from 19 years ago thing. I think that the baby from 19 years ago is truly like an upper level culprit thing. Like I told you, my theory for this has tiers. So you have like Sayo and the usual gang of suspects at the top, like Sayo, Genji, Kumasawa, Nanjo. And then you have the next layer down, which is that we're gonna out Natsuhi Club, which is all of the adults, and then like everyone above. And then you have the, oh, we hate Erika gang, let's pull a prank on Erika, which is Battler, the cousins, and everyone above.
Yeah.
And so I think that the man from 19 years ago is like the true like motive for Sayo, and then it's like hidden between the layers of we're gonna get Natsuhi to admit that Kinzo is dead, and we're gonna, you know, prank Erika with her funny like detective stuff because we hate her ass.
So you don't think at the time of the second phone call the rest of the family knew of the whole story with the man from 19 years ago?
I don't think so, no. Because I don't think they would react the way they would at the end of it when they're, like, admitting, like, when Natsuhi, like, admits to killing the baby, because everyone's like, what the fuck are you on about? Like, everyone's so confused that she, like, suddenly admits this, and she's like, see, like, you're watching me now, and everyone's like, what the fuck, Natsuhi?
And are you sure Sayo can't get out of the dining room where everyone is? I think we said parlor earlier.
I have to check the red truce about the letter, but they make it like really clear like who is in the parlor and who isn't, and who could leave, and like the moment the letter is placed is also the exact same like kind of time area where the phone call is happening.
I'm looking at the red truce right now. Look for it. Shit, wait, what's the name of Ep5? It's End. Or is end 4? No, 4 is banquet. 5 is end. No.
Having
what?
a stroke.
No. Turn is the second, banquet is 4th, alliance is the 5th.
Because we're checking to see if the parlor is sealed, which I do believe it is, because no one could have left the parlor to place the letter, because like the only people who were capable of placing the letter were the people in the hall, who were Natsuhi, Genji, and Klaus, and Lambda Delta, takes all 3 of them out as someone who could have placed a letter.
Mm-hmm. But they don't.
And then no one in the guest house was able to get in.
Yes.
Right, but the thing is, I think the importance of the letter truth also, because the letter of truth also proves who would have been capable of making the phone call. Because Erica was keeping an eye on literally everyone in the guest house. So none of them would have been able to do it because Erica's watch was perfect. And the time where her watch wasn't perfect was like way after the phone call was given.
But that's regarding the guest house, not the main mansion where everyone was.
Right. I mean, I'm saying there is the possibility that someone could have called from the guest house to Natsuki. Like the call could have been transferred that way, and someone like could have voice acted over there. Like maybe Kumasawa could have done it.
My idea is that all the adults Butler before he left, and then Sayo were in, and maybe Genji, were in the dining room, and then made the call from the dining room into not his room after she left with Genji and Klaus.
I don't think they did, because like I said, they act like so surprised when Natsuki has her like moment of like admitting the 19 years ago murder, because they're like, what the fuck do you mean?
Okay, no, yeah, I got confused. I meant that they were in the dining room, but then Sayo, like the adults at that point I think knew a big chunk of the truth, but then for the specific phone call, Sayo left the room and went into the room where Kraus was being held to do the phone call. Because I'm looking at Red Truths and I don't see anything saying the dining room was sealed.
The thing is, everyone was in the dining room when that happened, except for Klaus, Genji, and Natsuhi, and that was the only time during like the time where like the quote unquote letter was placed where the phone call could have been made. Yeah,
but like they're all in on the on the same shit. Like if they can claim Sayo was there with them.
That is true. That just depends on like your theory for Ep5, because in my case, I don't think people would be in on the 19 years ago baby thing.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, because I don't think...
Well, I also think, like, there's also Jessica, who, like, I don't think would be happy to know that, like, I don't think, like, knowing the man from 19 years ago also means, like, a bunch of other things that they know or don't know.
But Jessica's in the guest house.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that, like, there's a lot of people in that room that could have left and not leave, and I feel like it's not the easier answer, but like it like I don't love the, like, not that I love or don't love the idea that Genji is the one who's doing the call or not. I think like the logistics of leaving, coming back in to, like, especially when they tried their best to talk about the fact that nobody leaves nobody could have been the person who places the letter, because like then it, like, I guess if they just did lie about the fact that like Shannon hasn't left the room or has left the room, then like wouldn't that be like, oh, she left the room and she placed a letter, and like I don't know, I just, it feel like
I don't think there was any letter placed. That's just to feed the narrative.
No, there was no letter placed.
Yes. The point is that there's no letter.
But, like, I think the reason we focus so hard on that scene is to guarantee everyone's positions and who was doing what during that time, which is coincidentally the same time that the second phone call was made. Also, Sayo would have had to have time to, give Battler the ring and explain to everyone, like, the whole deal with that. And come clean about being Shannon and Cannon, because everyone in the room sees both of them and claims that both of them were there. And I feel like there's a lot there. Gotta, like, propose, the whole, like, pranking Erica idea. Then Battler has to leave, and then they have to talk about the whole, other stuff. But that's, like, way after the phone call, so.
I don't know if I feel very happy about the fact that I don't even think Shannon tells them about Shannon and Cannon thing. I feel like they're just like, just lie about Cannon or something.
Yeah, like, she may not even, like, say it, but, like, she could be like, hey, claim that Cannon is here.
Yeah, because you can min-max Occam Razor like, a lot of what's happening here, too. Sayo told them a bit, of the story, like, okay, yeah, gold is real, Butler did find the gold, and now I'm gonna take like you adults prepared this fake murder so to corner Natsuki into a point where she'll admit Ginzo is dead, because otherwise she'll have to admit worse things. I'll use this opportunity, like, you can leave this game in my hands. I know how to leave this, but I'll need you to I'll have to go prepare some things. I'll need you to if anybody asks, claim that I was here the whole night.
Yeah. I think that's...
And then none of the things you see happen, and you can just claim other things happen there, like Sayo explaining the truth. Not the whole truth, but some truth.
It's tough.
No letter is needed.
I don't think it's perfectly beautiful in any way of form. It's kind of like my feeling of EP4. It's just like, it's at a certain point when you say everybody could just lie about shit, it's just it is kind of...
I mean, but it's not as far-fetched as all that, because they're all in on it. They're all one group.
No, I totally agree.
It's not different parties.
I mean, like, I totally agree that like it's not far-fetched. I'm just like I'm just having some like moments of trying to decide on like how much I like the theory or not. It's kind of tough that way, I think.
No, I get that, because there's not like a fantastic bow tying like all these lies on the game board narrative to the meta world. There's not any kind of correlation like that makes you go, whoa, what an amazing theory that ties everything. Like there's none of that.
I'm so excited. Wait, if anybody in the comment section has an amazing way to tie all these theories together, please tell me. Like, I'm so ready to be like absolutely proven.
But I don't think we have. I don't think we should be like, I don't know, feeling like we didn't do our job. I mean, we have two different ideas here, and both fit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not in love with Genji voice actor theory, but when I'm Occam's it, I think it's the simplest solution, because we have the whole thing with Lambda faking her voice, which would perfectly like foreshadow something like that. That can be used as evidence to say that someone faked one who is forwarding the calls, and it is always it's specified of that. Like for the first two calls, Genji is the one who sends the call to Natsuhi's room. And for the third one, Genji is like quote unquote dead, and everyone else has their alibis, kinda, because like Kanon goes and knocks on the door with Goda. I'm pretty sure like everyone else is kinda like locked up, and I don't think it's realistic for anyone else to have done it when Genji is the person who did it the first two times.
Yeah, but I think Sayo always did it. It's just that...
But how would Sayo have done it when Kanon knocked on the door to Natsuhi's room during the like in the middle of the third call?
Fuck you, Lurf, stop being right.
Yeah, that's what I fucking thought, because I used to think it was Sayo doing it the whole time, and I was like, the fucking Kanon problem, where Kanon actually verbally speaks in the middle of the call, and then the man from 19 years ago says more words to Natsuhi immediately after the fact. And then, hangs up, and then Kanon is there when Natsuhi opens the fucking door, which means that it couldn't have been fucking Sayo unless Sayo invented the mobile phone.
Okay, fuck, you're right. Okay, Genji. It's Genji.
It's gotta be Genji, there's no one else.
But I still think my logistics are right. Like, everyone's on the part where it's just, no, wait, it doesn't matter anymore, because I can just straight up be there. Okay, yeah, Genji voice actor.
Yeah, Genji voice actor theory. Also, Genji killing Klaus theory, because it works out really surprisingly well.
Wow, Genji
third impostoring the whole time of Umineko is truly the way of life.
Out of everyone, I think Genji and Kumasawa would be my number one picks for skilled voice actors who aren't Sayo.
Oh yeah, I think Kumasawa is better than Genji.
I would think Kumasawa is better than Genji too. The only thing is Kumasawa couldn't have done it because she was under Erika watch, if I remember right.
Shit. Oh, I know who did it.
Huh?
Shit, I know who did it.
Who did it?
Who did it?
The man from 19 years ago, of course.
No fucking way!
No fucking way! Fucking God! Oh my God! I'm losing my goddamn mind.
Man, I honestly, okay, now, honestly, I don't know how I feel about Genji of voice acting theory, like, unironically, but I don't think it is a bad theory. Like, I'm joking and exaggerating it, calling it Genji voice acting, but it is true that we're talking about old-ass phones, and there's a million ways he could distort his voice.
Helium.
And you don't even, like, the argument of, okay, but if he's distorting his voice with a fan, for example, we don't hear the voice acting with a fan in their voice. Like, we've already gotten over that obstacle with the whole Lambda thing, so he could be doing a number of things to his voice to distort it and we wouldn't even know it.
Yeah, plus like it's like fucking like pounding rain outside.
Yeah.
And like super windy. An old ass phone.
Yeah, old ass
And if he just like pitched his voice slightly differently, I don't think you'd be able to tell. Also, if we are using voice acting as evidence, Genji's voice is always so low and monotone that if he switched to have any sort of emotion in it, I'd be like, who are you?
Yeah, no, for sure, yeah.
Like that's not the Genji I grew up with for many years. Well, I guess Natsu didn't grow up with him, but like she's known him for a hot minute, like at least 20 years. So like for Genji to sit and be like, ha ha, mother. I wouldn't think it was Genji. I'd be like, who is this mysterious man who's calling me mom? Could it be the baby from 19 years ago?
No, it's your butler down the road. He's just like into like
oh my god!
rooms down.
Wait. Wait. Does that mean that Renove's voice is like actual Genji's default voice before he became jaded?
I could believe it. Because
holy shit.
Because I'm pretty sure we know, at least from the manga, that Genji used to be a lot more like Renove when he was younger.
I cannot believe this shit. Genji used to have emotions.
Yeah, he did.
Wait, no. Wait, Chotomate kudasai. If he's just channeling his inner self to do this voice, he's literally becoming a man from 19 years ago.
No way.
I hate this.
He's channeling his inner self from 19 years ago.
I'm dying.
He's channeling his 19-year-old self.
No, his self from 19 years ago. That doesn't check out. You think Genji's 30?
No, the 19 years ago isn't gonna fucking do anything.
It's like 50 years ago.
He's been working here for like at least 30 years.
No, but that doesn't work for the joke, Worf. Come on.
That's why I said his 19-year-old self, so he could be 19 years old, like the man from 19 years ago.
This
okay,
is
I guess
awful.
that kind of
All of these jokes are horrible.
We're just discussing comedy structure now.
I love when we start explaining our jokes.
Breaking down jokes. Yes.
Okay, so is there anything else on the specific part that people want to like talk about besides talking phone talking man and
I have nothing else to discuss on the series, although I would like to, before we close the episode, just talk about general Ep5 things and how we feel going into Ep6.
Yeah.
But that's if we're done talking about theories and all of that stuff.
I'll just like overview, like recap my personal EP5 theory is where it is working on layers where during the family conference, Sayo comes in and, you know, like, Battler's pissed about Erica. Sayo's like, we don't like this Erica person, and also she might be a problem for me. So they come up with the epic prank Erica plan, and Battler's like, nice, I'll get everyone in on it. And he gets to later go after the end of the conference, after they discuss the logistics of the plan, and he scurries along back to the guest
like
house.
A rat.
And, yeah, like a little rat.
And rats make me crazy.
You know, informs the cousins about it before Erica gets in her position to listen to everyone all night. Battler could have even just like written them a note, you know, and been like, hey, in the morning, like, pretend to be dead, we're pranking Erica because we hate her, and she said this about your dad, Jessica, and Jessica would be so down. And you know, back at the family conference after Battler leaves, so I was like, okay, so like, I'm pretty sure that Natsu's hiding Kinzo's death, aren't you guys? And they're all like, thank you, fucking finally. And they come up with the plan to frame Natsuki for these prank murders so that Erica will get on her ass, and they all have an excuse to get on her ass so that she'll eventually admit that Kinzo is dead. And, you know, also humiliate her because, like, what the fuck, you're lying about the death of our dad? That's fucked up of you. And so they create that plan.
And baking your dad into cornbread, baby?
Yeah, baking your dad into cornbread!
Yeah.
Exactly.
And And then Sayo continues her 19 years ago terrorizing Natsuhi plan, in which now she has pretty much everyone working against Natsuhi, whether they know it or not, and she gets to continue fucking with her until she finally breaks down and admits to her wrongdoings and her sins.
Okay, my idea is a little bit
and
different.
she has Genji help her.
It's a little bit different. So I think... Yeah, this was like the adults went into the island already with the whole strategy to make Natsuhi make a fake murder to make Natsuhi admit to her crimes. I still like my idea of Sayo contacting one of the cousins before they came into the island. Not the cousins, the adults. And then it was probably Eva, and then Eva just shared the idea with everyone else, and they prepared this together with Sayo. Butler did not know of this, and after he solved the mystery, they still did not tell him of the plan, because the younger cousins are supposed to be under the impression that this is, we're doing a fake murder, but it's just one of your grandfather's whimsical desires. It's totally not to corner Natsuhi, so that's how they would go about getting Jessica to participate in this. But then there was a factor they did not account for, which was Erika, which just further exacerbated and certified that this plan would actually fucking work. And what was the other point I disagreed? So like you said, Butler went into the room and left them a note for them to pretend to be that. So I think they already knew they were supposed to do that, because they were in the impression it was just a grandfather thing. So it was not a prank for Erika, it was just a thing that they were doing, supposedly. It just so happened that Erika was there and got super into it.
Because she's a sick freak.
And what was the other fucking thing? What was the other fucking thing I disagreed with? Shit, I don't remember. Well, I'll cry about it when I'm editing.
The main reason I have the Erika prank layer is because I do not think Jessica would ever in a million years participate in a plan that was to fuck her mom over and make her feel this much pain.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still, in my idea, it's Jessica, he is still under the impression that it's a fake murder.
Mm-hmm.
And then, wait, I need to come... Yeah, and then when Butler solves the gold, I think he is told about Kinzo being dead, or...
Yeah, because...
Maybe not exactly, because that could interfere with other things, but he's told some information that eventually leads him to that conclusion, if he's not outright told it is that. Because I want that correlation I mentioned before to happen, which is Butler on the Meta World laying down the golden truth that this is Kinzo's corpse, to be Butler settling the argument with just showing everyone Kinzo's corpse so that Erika will stop harassing Natsuhi.
You know what, I think it could be a thing where during the Philly conference, because Battler couldn't have found out before then because Erika was with him the whole time, and we don't see him meet up with Shikanen until the conference room. I do think it's very possible that Shikanen is like Sayo dropped it there. Sayo dropped it to everyone at the family conference, because like the whole thing is like Erika, Lambda, and Byrne all in the meta world know for a fucking fact that Kinzo is dead, and that is a red truth that is on the table, or at the very least like Lambda and Byrne do, but I'm pretty sure Erika knows too, and she's just being an asshole about it. So we know that people who are harassing Natsuhi know for a fact they're bullshitting, and they're just trying to get her to admit it, because that's Lambda and Vern Castell's whole deal at the court, is they're just trying to push her to finally just fucking admit it and humiliate her as much as possible so she will admit it. And I don't think Erika on the game board is 100% certain Kinzo's dead. Like, I'm sure she has her suspicions, but like she's made her theory, she's sticking with it. So I think, you know, the adults are also egging Natsuhi on, because they are kind of on Erika's side of like, just fucking admit it already, just do it. And, you know, the people who are in the Make Natsuhi Admit It club are in the Sayo I fucking hate Natsuhi club. Well, they don't hate Natsuhi, but they're here to support Sayo because of their crimes. So I think Battler in that moment is like, hey, we fucking know that Kinzo is dead, you guys. So, like, how about you fucking stop it and stop torturing Natsuhi? She clearly, you know, like, is going through it here. I think Battler just, like, is finally sick of it. and is like, you know, like here's her like confessing to this like murder of this baby 19 years ago and like breaking down, and like they're like, Erika's like, oh, you must have slept with Kinzo, and Battler's like, shut the fuck up, come on. And he's like, we know Kinzo's dead, Sayo fucking told us. And the entire like adult gang is like, I mean, I guess we know that, yeah. And then Erika's like, no, my theory.
But I wish we would have gotten to see that. That would be so fucking funny to actually see happen.
Because I think, because like that's the only way Battler could have found out. Because otherwise Erika's like with him all the time, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, it could have only
and we never see another instance where he's in the same room with Sayo.
Yeah, if Sayo tells him anything, it's gotta be during the family like the dinner.
Yeah, because it can't be with Erika, so like she can't do like the whole like, oh, I show up in a dress in the gold room. Like she only brought the family head ring to Battler at the family conference, which is kind of her like gold room thing of like, I'm here to tell the truth mostly and pass on the headship to you.
Kinda.
The servants still follow my orders, except for Goda. He's Natsuhi's. I don't know if Goda knows what's going on in this one.
I don't think no.
I don't think so.
Goda does.
I think everyone but Goda is in on something.
Goda is never in on anything. He's just
there's
there.
There's no way he could know, because he's not in on the Kinzo secret, and he's not in on the fuck Natsuhi over secret, because he's trying so hard to make Natsuhi happy when like announcing the latter.
He's just a sad simp.
And then everyone's like, yay, Goda! Except for
literally
Natsuhi.
the saddest simp alive.
Yeah.
I love Goda. Funniest Umineko character, hands down, just from like a circumstance standpoint.
Yeah. I don't exactly remember what it was, but I loved it earlier in the episode where he was trying to help Natsuhi win the argument, but he just makes it worse, and Natsuhi's like, shut the fuck up, man.
And Goda's like, what did I do?
Shut the fuck up. What did I do?
I thought I was helping, madam. Don't hate me. I thought I was so clever.
Should we move on into what we're feeling about the CP6 coming up?
Yeah, sure.
I'm so fucking pumped.
Fucking love episode 6. Favorite episode.
A lot of people don't like EP6, but you know, fuck them.
They're wrong.
Not much to say. It's crazy.
We already carve out what we think EP6's chapter covering.
No.
Because there's a lot of things that happen in EP6. Like, a lot. Like, we are going to be, like, Ikukoing, and that's gonna be a whole different problem.
We're getting into Ikuko.
Like, Ikuko's gonna show up, and then we're just gonna accidentally sink 40 minutes of our time trying to talk about any, like, 2 sentences she says. And then
you're so right.
And then we're gonna be so fucking Jover, guys.
Yeah.
We have to. We're showing too much of our hands in front of the scenes. We have to look like we have at least some amount of idea what we're doing.
No, yeah, we're totally in control, guys.
Yeah, we know how to. Y'all know how to run a podcast.
we intentionally recorded 2 episodes in 6 months.
Yeah.
To make it more rare, to make it savor the experience more, of course.
We gotta stretch out Umineko as long as we can.
I still.
There's
think
a reason Christmas isn't every day.
It's true. Christmas is 2 days.
The biannual holiday of Umineko Bookclub release.
Okay.
Is it because the fact that the Umineko episode could kiss up girls and boys? Okay.
What?
This joke is going nowhere.
It's going. Don't worry about it. We're not gonna start explaining our jokes again.
I think we're done for these 3 months. See you in 3 months.
We're clocking out for another 3 months left for Umineko episode. When something else cries. Maybe when Yuki puts out Silent Hill.
Maybe when Rikishi puts out Ciconia Phase 2.
Oh my god. No, we cannot get into this loophole again.
Okay.
Any closing thoughts?
I'm very excited for episode 6 where we get the George incel era drop where we learn about his tragic backstory when he was an incel. I'm very excited for that.
Being an incel.
I'm like, my personal goal is to get to the finale of EP6 because I love it and I have so much shit to talk about it. Once we get to, because like my personal goal with the channel was to reach 500 subs, which we have. We are now at 600, so I can rest easy about that. My personal goal with Umineko Bookclub is reaching the finale of EP6.
Yeah, and everybody and their mom wants us to get to EP7 because everybody has their dissertation ready to like bring it up for the class. So I'm excited for everybody else who's excited to join the EP7 book club because I'm excited to hear their opinion because like. I feel like I really didn't like EP7 when I was first reading it because I was a 13-year-old child.
Oh, that's fair.
and now I like it because I'm no longer a 13-year-old child.
Because I am a jaded adult.
It's true because
and life is no longer fun, so I can relate.
The only reason I say EP7 isn't my favorite episode is because it's unfair because it's so different from literally every other episode in a way that like no other episode is different.
It's just a whole different thing. But I am excited.
Yeah, I think we're done here.
And also EP6. EP6 is so exciting. EP6 has all my favorite music. It has Erica doing Erica bullshit. It has, and then if we record EP6, if we record EP6 finale so far in the future, I will actually. We could group watch me performing Birth of the New Witch because at that point I wouldn't be even doxing myself anymore. The only reason I'm not sharing it is because if you want to do some stupid Googling, you can, but like I don't want to like put my human face on a human face yet. But maybe in 5 years I will when we get to the ending of EP6.
Yeah, no, give me your predictions. When will we finish EP6?
2 years.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
2 years?
2 years.
I say 2 years and a half.
Okay.
Lorenzo, what's your prediction?
Oh, good question. 5 years.
Yeah.
No hope.
Somewhere between 2 and 5 years. Like 3.5, let's say.
Okay, guys. I hope all of your listeners are excited. I hope you will still be listening to us 5 years later when we get to Birth of the New Witch.
I can't fucking wait. It's my personal goal to get on as many EP6 book clubs as possible because it is my favorite episode to dissect. I have so many thoughts about it.
You're getting me all excited.
We need to stop fucking talking is what we need to do.
Alright, thank you for accompanying us on this slog of an EP5 journey, with all the ups and downs. It all started with the parlor incident with Erika just conveniently not seeing Canon behind her back, and it all finished with the goddamn voice call and Genji voice acting. Stick around for more funny shenanigans on EP6, and with that, we're done. See you in 3 months.
Goodbye.
Alright, catch you later. See cats do crimes, toodaloo.